Information is vital. Stay tuned. Be enlightened. Be encouraged.
Hello there. My name is Dr. James Carlson, and welcome to another edition of Ultimate Wellness. Today we're going to, I went shopping before I arrived here. We'll discuss that in a few minutes. But I do want to thank everyone for joining me, and we're going to have a great controversial day today. We're going to discuss about common foods that most of you think are good for you, but are again, wolves in sheep's clothing. You can see them displayed in front of me. We'll get to them in a second. I do want to thank some of the viewers from last week's show, last Halloween, and I can't believe we're in November already. I did get some questions from last week's show, which I want to go over first because they were kind enough to email me, so let me go through them. And the first question is from a Dale from Northport, Long Island, and she states that she sees that I stated that cholesterol and fat were made from sugar, but she wants to know exactly how. And she knows a lot of people, or she states a lot of people would disagree with me. And if what I'm saying is true, that means that things like whole grain bread or raisins, even some fruits would be converted into cholesterol. And she also wisely stated that these are foods that don't even contain fat or cholesterol. But then you're telling me that the body will make fat and cholesterol from them. And she says, I like this. And I like the controversy because we learn more from that than we do about just being passive and listening. She says, quite frankly, I don't believe it. And there's that belief thing again. You see, last week's show, I focused on the facts. I discussed the facts of the biochemistry of nutrition. And the facts are that both glucose and fructose, the sugar found in fruit, are both converted in the body to cholesterol and fat. And these are the dangerous things that, kill us, that make us obese, that create the whole type 2 diabetes epidemic problem. And it is a problem. So whether or not you believe the facts, that's irrelevant because the facts just exist in and of themselves. It's like you not believing the world is round. Well, by golly, it's round. It's a fact. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. It just is. I'm looking right at my biochemistry textbook, which the last publication, I think it was 2007 copyright, which goes through the pathways for the production of cholesterol and fat, known as triglycerides, from glucose, fructose, and a less commonly known sugar known as galactose, which is found in lactose. Okay. Now, I have another question. This is from Nicole from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And she asks, can I just stop my medications if I back off on my carbs? You mentioned a little bit about diabetes last week and high blood pressure. She states she's on a medication for cholesterol, blood pressure, diabetes, and heartburn. Let me just state this. You should never stop a medication without your physician knowing about it. Never, ever, ever. And again, these questions came in last week. I didn't have a chance to answer them. They came in last week. No one should ever stop a medication, be it for blood pressure, cholesterol, heartburn, diabetes, without notifying your physician. One of the best things you can do is to find a physician who's well-versed in the low-carbohydrate eating style so they can correctly guide you into the proper choices you should make in regards to your diet. But I want no one stopping any medications. Not at all. So that was a very good question. Thank you so much for attempting to get through last week's show. Let's see. Now, I have a friend, JC, from South Africa, and this was actually left in my email. And once again, for the people viewing me right now, you can leave any message you have for me at Dr. Jim at drjamescarlson.com, drjim at drjamescarlson.com. And, if I have a chance today, I'll answer them. If not, I'll pick it up on the following week's show. So my buddy JC from South Africa says, of course, he says, hey, Jim. And let me get to his question. Give me a second here. And he came across this article, the chart he was missing the link, that stated that it might be possible for insulin secretion to happen, and that it happens before sugar is even seen, that the production and secretion of insulin happens before the sugar or glucose is even seen, influencing the pancreas. And let me say that another way because I'm confusing myself. His question was that or statement was that insulin is secreted before sugar even arrives at the level of the small intestine to trigger its release. This all stems from a little discussion I had. It was on a podcast with Jimmy Moore from Jimmy Moore's Living La Vida Low Carb podcast show, where I made the statement that if we think about food or if we dream about food, we possibly could be secreting insulin. And those of us who are struggling to lose weight, having difficulty losing weight, we may be thinking of food too much. We may be dreaming of food too much. That was speculation on my part. JC, it was more of a statement than a question, backing up the possibility that what I was saying was true, because he came across a study that was suggesting insulin secretion before the pancreas even sees sugar. Another side note was that, and Jimmy Moore brought this to my attention, we know of candles. People purchase candles that give off a pumpkin smell or a blueberry smell or a cookie smell. And we were conjuring back and forth. Could that cause a hypersecretion of insulin? And remember now, insulin I refer to as the dirty little hormone. This is a hormone that can prevent us from losing weight, that allows us to create cholesterol, that makes triglycerides, and creates a lot of other problems in our body. Again, I call it the dirty little hormone. We need insulin in small quantities, but not in the quantities we secrete it in on a daily basis due to the overconsumption of carbohydrates we continue to deal with on a daily basis. I can't wait to take you shopping with me. It is going to be a lot of fun, okay? And I believe this may be the final question. I'm just going to field one more question here because I like it, because it's attacking me. And let me read this to you, okay? This is Bob from Arcola, Virginia. And he says, I don't believe anything you are saying. You're giving dangerous, and he puts in quotes, advice, which will definitely hurt or kill someone. I don't believe you are even a doctor, and if you are, they should take your license away. And I read that, and did I get insulted or upset? The answer is no, I did not. Let's look at Dr. Atkins, who, at the Atkins diet, lower carb, more fat or appropriate amounts of fat, cholesterol, and protein. He was a cardiologist. He had told millions through his books the correct way to eat, and his patients did fantastic. Now, was his license revoked? The answer is no, because they had nothing that they could revoke his license on. I am a medical physician. I do have a license to practice in the state of New York. Okay, I went to undergraduate school at Cornell University, where I studied the biochemistry of nutrition and also molecular cell biology. I went to the New York College of Osteopathic Medicine, where I graduated in 1993 with a Doctor of Osteopathic degree. I was chief resident of my family medicine. I taught, hundreds of medical students during fourth year, interns, residents, and also attendings. Okay, I'm also very active in the nutritional biochemical reviews and research and whatnot. So I am a real medical doctor. But let me get back to the first thing you said, and it said, I don't believe anything you were saying. And let's go back to Dale. I believe it was Dale from Northport, Long Island. She doesn't believe it, okay? We need to get rid of the belief word. Get rid of the believe word. We need to deal with the facts, which I'm about to present to you. We need to deal with the facts, okay? So I really do enjoy the question, Bob. I like the vitriol. I enjoy that. And let's start today's episode of Ultimate Wellness. I know there were many others who had emailed me during last week's show, and if I don't email you back with an answer, I'll attempt to get you in possibly today if we have some time.